All right, we're talking again today, y'all, about 8 of the very best tips that I can give you to help you level up your life in preparation for the new year. And you can start right now. Tasha, what's up, girl? Again, you know, as I think about my new year, like, how many of y'all think about your new year when you were wrapping up? You know, those guys are listening on the podcast and on YouTube. Currently, at the time of this video, we are halfway through the month of November 2021. We are fast approaching the end of the year. This time of year, I get through my November season, and then I immediately shift my focus to, man, what's next year going to be like? What am I going after to accomplish in the new year? And the things that I plan and prepare for in the new year are always bigger, you know, ambitious things that I have yet to accomplish, levels that I have yet to achieve, things that I'm really trying to pursue. And so I'm going to give you this quote by Tony Robbins again. Tony Robbins says, "It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. Anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing you must do is raise your standards." And so, you know, as we prepare for the new year and we're thinking about the goals that we have in the new year and the levels we want to achieve and the things we want to accomplish, anything that you are working to pursue and achieve that you have not yet achieved or levels that you have not yet reached are going to require you to raise your standards. So what I'm going to challenge you with today, challenge us today, is I'm going to give you 8 of my best tips to help you level up your life in preparation for the new year. And I'm going to challenge all of us in a variety of very simple but very powerful ways to raise your standards. All right? Cheers and good morning to all of y'all. Sherry, good morning to you, buddy. I see you. Tasha, good morning to you. Kat, good morning to you. Nice to have y'all in here hanging out with me this morning, y'all. Cheers, and I hope your cup of beverage of whatever you have is delicious and delightful. And I hope your Wednesday is short and your weekend comes fast and you get a lot accomplished and are profitable and productive this week as we get about our businesses, all right? Number 1, first one I'm going to give you of my best tips for how to level up your life. Number 1 is to create separation from your normal. Create separation from your normal. I want you to think about for a second today about areas of your life or habits in your life or aspects of your life that have just become normal to you, but that require a bit of raising of your standards. For example, it has become normal for you to work yourself to death. And so you're just working yourself like crazy. You're struggling to maintain a healthy work-life balance, and you've got a lot of stuff you're doing, a lot of stuff you're creating, a lot of stuff you're building. But that's just become normal to you. You're like, well, this is just the season that I'm in. That doesn't have to be normal. And I'm telling you that one particularly because I lived that for a long time. And it really was a challenge to me to slow down and realize that, you know what, I don't have to kill myself to build this business. And I'm not going to sacrifice my family for the sake of trying to get my next thing out or my next level up or whatever. So maybe it's become normal for you to be out of balance. Maybe procrastination has become normal for you, where you start projects and don't finish them. Maybe excuses have become normal to you, where you make excuses for everything about why you didn't and why you won't and why you can't and why it's not going to work for you. Maybe hitting the snooze button over and over and over in the morning has been normal for you. Maybe doubting yourself with every single thing you do has become normal for you. Maybe being too busy to even work on your business has become normal for you, where you like to, I just had a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff. Like I got one person on the top of my mind that I've been working with for a long time, and they have a ton going on in their world. Just a ton going on in the world. And I had a conversation with her actually just, mid last week. And she was telling me about, I'm in this season, I'm struggling with this because, you know, I just can't find time to work on my business. And I've got this with the kids and this with the house and this with the thing. And she's explaining all the stuff. I'm like, you have been telling me that same stuff for 2 years. You've been telling me that same stuff for 2 years. I mean, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you just keep on doing that and keep on living like that and keep on, you know, accepting that, you'll continue to run in that same circle. So the only way to actually give your business a chance to succeed is something's got to change. Something needs to know. You gotta shut the door on something so you can open the right door to something else. So this number 1, all I'm going to challenge you with is to just ask yourself, what areas of your life, or what areas of your behavior, or what areas of your mindset, or what areas of the way that you are just currently going about your world have become normal, and can you create some separation from things that shouldn't be normal anymore? What can you do to shift some things and start doing some things differently intentionally? All right, that's number one. Number two is commit to advancing a particular skill that is necessary for you, and put a time frame to it. Again, we're talking about 8 of the very best tips that I can give you to challenge you to level up your life in preparation for the new year. Tony Robbins says, anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing that you must do is raise your standards. So I'm going to challenge you with number 2 to commit to advancing a particular skill and give it a time frame. So make it a relevant skill that's necessary for the business that you have, or for the brand that you're trying to build, or for what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to build a life coaching business, I challenge you not to go out and learn how to bake a better cake in the month of December, right? Because that's not necessary. Well, everyone loves cake. I mean, I love cake. Cake's awesome. But your life coaching business doesn't need you to learn how to bake a better cake. Like, what do you actually need to learn? What are there some skills that you need to learn in marketing, or client attraction, or technology related stuff, or bookkeeping, or managing your finances, or something? What is it about your business? Is there something that you feel like you are lacking, you need more information on, you need more training on, you need more education on? And I challenge you to commit to advancing a skill over the course of the next 6 to 7 weeks, over the course of the remainder of the month of November and in the month of December. And again, if you're listening on the podcast or YouTube, give yourself 30 days. I mean, say, you know what? Over the next 30 days, I'm going to commit to advancing this particular skill, and this is how I'm going to do it. A real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. So if there's no new action, you haven't truly decided. So I challenge you to identify one particular thing that you need to get better at, figure out how you're going to do that, where you're going to do that, put the time to that commitment on your calendar, and then commit to it, and give yourself 30 days to advancing one particular skill that will give you leverage, that will give you an advantage, that will give you momentum, that will give you results in the new year. All right, that's number 2. Commit to advancing a skill, and make sure that you have a time frame associated to it. Randy, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Number 3, I challenged you on this one about a month ago, and I'm going to do it again because I think it's such a powerful process. I'm going to challenge you to commit to doing something that scares you. Commit to doing something that scares you, and again, put a time frame to it. And I'm curious to know if there's those guys that are watching me here live, if you've got something on your mind that's scary that you need to do. Maybe you didn't take my challenge a few weeks ago when I put this out there, and you're like, I know I need to do this. I know I need to step out. I know I need to do that thing. Would you be willing to put it in the chat stream for accountability? I'm curious. So that doing that thing that scares you could be making an investment that scares you. It could be putting yourself out there. Maybe you've never done a live video before, and you're like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do my first live video. Maybe it's scary to you to pick up the phone and call someone that the Lord has been prompting you to call, because you got to resolve a conflict that needs to be resolved. And listen, I'm reading somebody's mail right now. You're going to see that person over the holidays, and you know that there's going to be tension, and it's going to be awkward, and you have no idea how to go about that situation. And if you would just pick up that phone that the Lord's been prompting you to pick up and call that person and have a conversation, it will relieve you. It will take so much stress off your plate, so much anxiety off your plate, if you just deal with it. But the longer you hold on to it, the longer it's going to continue to eat at you and eat at you and eat at you, and then it's going to completely disrupt your holiday season. So if that's what it is, I challenge you to pick up the phone, call that person, whatever that is. And Keith, I see you, good buddy. Good morning to you, bro. Tasha says doing lives was scary at the start of it, right? Tasha took the challenge from me back in April. She started doing live videos. She hasn't stopped since. What are we going on? 7 months, 7 months or something? Tasha's been doing it every single day, and the results that it brings in, not just doing lives, but just doing something that's scary, doing something that is outside your comfort zone. Because staying in that circle of your comfort zone is not going to take you anywhere. It's not going to get you to your next level. Randy says, tell my mom I'm not coming home this year for Christmas. Phone call scares the crap out of me. Oh, man. You know what's funny is I had to have a phone call with my mom, too. I had to have a phone call with my mom about the holiday season, too, because my mom is highly emotional about the holiday season. She loves the holiday season. And so I had to have a conversation with her because I feel like I am unofficially dubbed the life of the party at the Cappon family Christmases and Thanksgiving and stuff, and we come and we bring all of our energy and we bring all of our joy and we have a good time. And so, you know, my wife is fast approaching her 9th month of pregnancy, and so Thanksgiving is different for us this year, and Christmas, she's due 5 days after Christmas. I'm like, so Christmas may look completely different. We may not be at Christmas. You know, depending on how Courtney's feeling, if she is miserable and horizontal and doesn't want to go anywhere, we're not going to come to a family Christmas because I'm not going to put my wife through that. And I'm certainly not going to leave her home alone and bring the kids over. So, you know, the holidays may look different. So I had to have that conversation with mom. I think mom and dad, of course, they understand. But that's, you know, that's life. That's what happens. So commit to doing something that scares you, whatever that is. I challenge you. It is going fast. Yeah, man, she's due January 1st. Oh, yeah, that's happening. It's happening around here. All right, let's keep going. I'm hooking you guys up today with 8 of my best tips to help you and challenge you, not just help you, but challenge you to level up your life. And you can start these right now. These are simple things, but they're powerful if you apply them. All right. Number 4 is to seek feedback and refine. Seek feedback and refine. Feedback's powerful, y'all. Feedback is not always fun because sometimes it has to be constructive, but I challenge you with whatever you are doing, whatever you're building, whatever you're creating, whatever you're putting out there, find someone or plug yourself into a group of people that are willing to give you honest and real feedback about where you're at and what you're doing, and then refine from that, grow from that. You've got to get other people's perspectives outside your own. And I've done this on multiple occasions over the years. I've had direct conversations with my clients, and I've asked people, you know, when I first got coaching with people, and when I was first building my tribe, I remember when I first when I first started my inner circle, I did 1 month with my inner circle, going through the process that I had mapped out for them. And after the month, I talked to all of the first 10 people that were in that group. And I just asked them, can you tell me about how you feel about the group? Do you like what we're doing? Do you like the vision that I have? Do you like the direction that we're going? Is there anything that you would like to see done differently? Is there anything that you would like to see done better? Is there anything that you feel like is off? You know, how do you feel about the investment? And I got some really good candid feedback that helped me refine. I've done that with my coaching clients when I first started learning how to really be a good coach. And I asked people, how do you feel about my coaching? You've been with me for 6 months. Is it helpful? Is it working? What do you like most? Is there anything you could do away with? And I was able to kind of refine my process a little bit. So getting feedback is powerful. And if you are putting a lot of stuff out there, you're creating, you're executing, you're doing the things that you're doing, but you're not getting any feedback from anybody, that's a miss. So I challenge you to look for that. Look for an opportunity to seek feedback and get really some candid input from people that have had experiences with you, and ask them to help you refine the way you're doing what you're doing so you can just begin to master your craft. So that's number 4. Number 5 is to acquire new and meaningful relationships. And I'm going to challenge you to make this a focus of 1 per week, a minimum of 1 per week. I believe wholeheartedly that your business will grow at the same level and pace at which you're able to grow and develop new relationships. Business is about people. It's about connections. It's about relationships. And the better that you get at relationships, the better that you get at people, and the better that you really start making people a priority. Dan, what's up, man? It's nice to see you, buddy. The better you get at making people a priority, the better you will get at growing and scaling a business with ease, y'all. People are necessary. Relationships are necessary. Social media is not about collecting people. It's about connecting with people. So many people go after social media just trying to get more followers and more likes and more subscribers and more, whatever, more comments, more views. No, man, focus on what you've already got. I challenge you. People think, well, if I could just get more followers, I would get more views on my videos. If I could just get more subscribers, I would get more comments on my post. If I could just get more likes on my page, I would get more views. Wrong. More reach is not going to get you more engagement. It's actually the opposite. If you start focus on who you actually do have, if you're doing a live video every single day and you only have one person showing up to watch that live video every day, don't sit there with that one person watching you thinking, man, I wish I could get more live viewers today. You got one human being sitting in front of you that has options for where they spend their time. They have a life. They've got stuff. They've got things going on in their world. They have stopped their world and they're sitting there listening to you. And while they're sitting there committing their time and energy to you, all you're thinking of, I wish I had more people. No, you pay 100% attention to that one person and you speak to that one person as if they are the only person in the room, because they may just well be, and then give them the very best of you. And I guarantee you, if you start focusing on truly engaging the people that you already have in your network, you're just going to start to find your network exponentially grow with ease without you even having to work for it. Because when you give people an experience with you that's unforgettable, and they realize that you're different, and you realize that you're not just out there to get their money, or you're not just out there to get their attention, you're not just out there to get whatever they have to give you, and you're out there to serve them and pour into them and invest in them, people talk about that. And they bring their friends. There's a great quote by Walt Disney. I can't remember exactly how it's worded, but I'll paraphrase it. It says something along the lines of, whatever you do it well. Do it so well that when people have an experience with you, that they want to come back and do it again, see it again, and they bring their friends. Like, whatever it is that you are doing, however it is that you're doing it, do it so well that the people that have an experience with you can't wait to come back and see it again, and they want to bring their friends. Like, that's truly how you grow a network, y'all. You don't grow a network by, collecting likes and subscribers on your pages. You grow a network by serving the people that pay attention to you and pay attention to you well. And that's why I stop in the middle of all my videos and say good morning to all of y'all. Like, Danielle, I appreciate you being here this morning. Keith, I appreciate you being here this morning. Keith says, that has been an awesome addition this year. I've made some great new connections. Absolutely, Keith. Keith's made some huge moves this year by doing some scary stuff. And now, I think if you look back, Keith, a year ago, some of the conversations that you and I had a year ago about some of the things that you were wanting to do, and I'm like, just go for it, man. Just go for it. Walk through the doors that the Lord is opening for you. And now the things that you've done this year and the stuff that you have accomplished is incredible. The connections you've made, and that just gives you momentum. Your connections and your relationships will give you momentum, y'all. I see this. Randy says, the guy who... Hold on, I gotta see both your comments. Randy says, if you shovel poop, be the best poop shoveler ever. Amen to that. And Randy says, the guy who scoops the Budweiser Clydesdales makes more than 6 figures. That's crazy. And I have heard that before. That's actually crazy. So, again, acquire new and meaningful relationships. So I want to be simple and I want to be specific. Don't just take away this conversation and be like, you're right, Justin, I need to be more intentional in my relationships. Be intentional with your relationships. Like, what I've found is you actually have to put relationship and connection on the calendar, because if you don't, you won't. If you don't, you won't, because we're too busy. We got stuff going on. We got all these things we're trying to do, and all of a sudden, blink, and the week is over. Like, a week doesn't... Is anybody else with me where a week goes by like that? I'm like, it's over. Like, I mean, it's Wednesday. I'm like, I feel like I was just at Wednesday last week. Like, it's just so fast paced. There's so much going on. So if you don't actually plan time on your calendar to truly and intentionally connect with people and try to reach out to new people and make new connections, you won't. You won't do it. If you don't put it on your calendar, you won't do it. So when I say acquire new and meaningful relationships, I challenge you to make it an intentional, purposeful decision to make at least one new connection a week. Minimum one new connection a week. However you do that, whether that's you go out and you do live videos and you see new people coming in that you haven't truly connected to, you reach out to them and you just connect to them. What's that look like? if I have, let's say I have, let's say Tasha is brand new. Of course, Tasha is one of my people. She's been with me for forever. But let's say Tasha comes in and I see Tasha and she's interacting. I'm like, Tasha, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for being in here. And I'm interacting with Tasha. And I'm like, I don't recognize Tasha. So I might write Tasha's name down. Tasha Hart, want to check her out. And so as soon as the broadcast is over, I make an intentional decision to go look up Tasha. I want to look up her Facebook page, see what she's about. Does she have a business? What's she do? I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to Google her. And I just want to have an understanding of who she is and what she's doing. I'm going to send her a friend request on Facebook if we're not already friends. And then as soon as she accepts that friend request, I'm going to grab my phone. I'm going to go into Messenger. I'm going to pull up Tasha and I'm going to send her a voice message. Tasha, what's up, girl? Listen, I appreciate you. I loved having you in my broadcast this morning. I don't know if you know what it means to a broadcaster to have great people in the room, adding value and conversation to the room. So I just want to let you know I appreciate you. Loved having you in the broadcast this morning. Hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. Hope you enjoy your coffee. Have a great week, and hope to see you more around the web. Take care and God bless. And I'll send her a message. That's it. I mean, I'm not trying to sell Tasha nothing. I'm not trying to send her a link to my website. I just want to let her know I appreciate her for coming in and spending time. And even though Tasha is one of my people, I do appreciate you, buddy, because you're my girl. I appreciate Tasha being in here, hanging out with me and cheersing me when she comes into the broadcast. So that goes for all of you guys. That's why I spend time when I go through my broadcast. I don't just come out and share content and split. Like, I want to talk to y'all. Like, I want to see your comments. I want to know your questions. If you guys got questions, if you got stuff that you're struggling with, man, drop that in the chat stream and I'll help you, because the only reason that I show up every single day at 8 o'clock Eastern time every single morning is for you. It's for you. That's why I'm here. It's for you. This is the only reason. If you aren't here, I don't have any reason to be here. I mean, I got other things I can do with my time. The only reason I show up every day is because I'm committed to you, and I believe wholeheartedly that you need to invest in your people long before they'll invest in you. And so what does that mean, Justin? That means that you need to invest your time, your energy, your resources, your knowledge, your training, your connection. Invest in your people, y'all. So when I'm saying inquire new and meaningful relationships, make people a priority. If that's not currently a priority in your business probably isn't doing very well, first of all. But then if that's not a priority in your business, I challenge you to shift your mind and make this a decision that you implement into your weekly schedule. Find time every week to connect to new people and make new relationships. And if you can make this a discipline, you can make this a habit, I guarantee you, like I absolutely guarantee you, it'll transform your upcoming year. Because that's where business comes from. It comes from new people, but they got to have experience with you. All right. That's number 5. Number 6, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Cheers, y'all. Everybody give me a cheers. I make sure you're awake and paying attention out there. Number 6, I got 3 left for you. So far, we've talked about creating separation from normal. Good morning, Kim Wendy. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Number 1 is create separation from normal. Number 2 is commit to advancing a skill, a particular skill, and put a time frame associated to it. Number 3 is commit to doing something that scares you and put a time frame to it. Number 4 is seek feedback and refine. Number 5 is acquire new and meaningful relationships. Number 6 is say yes and say no. Say yes and say no. What does that mean? I'm going to challenge you to think about. Keith. He says number 6 is I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Number 6 is not I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and then I'm going to unpack number 6. Cheers, Keith. To you specifically, buddy. Say yes and say no. I want to challenge you to think about, what have you been saying yes to for forever that needs a no out of you? And what have you been saying no to that needs a yes out of you? So, for example, you're busy. You have a ton of stuff on your plate. But I want to remind you that you, sir or ma'am, are in complete control of your life and your schedule. You're the one that schedules you. So if you are too busy to do the most important things in your world, you are too busy because you have committed yourself to being too busy. So I'm going to challenge you to look at what things are draining your time, your energy, your resources, are causing you to not do the most important things. Maybe you've had a season where you've where you've had to go through doing some things for a while, but now that season needs to shift, and you've got to start giving some time to some other things. But the only way that you can give some time over here is if you get some time back over here. So what have you been saying yes to that now needs a no out of you? Where you got to start saying no to that thing because you need to give something else a yes. And then on the flip side, what have you been saying no to for a while that needs a yes out of you? You've been saying no to that opportunity. You've been saying no to that decision. And you may not be audibly be saying no, but you've been subconsciously been saying no. You've been saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But your actions don't align with what you've been saying you're going to do. Your actions are just showing up and giving you a no every single day. You gave a no to your goal this year. Some of y'all had some big goals in January, and then you reset the goals in July because you're like, I'm going to go after this goals. And you had this conscious decision where you're like, I'm going to go after this goal and I'm going to go do this thing. But your actions prove otherwise. Your actions basically said no to what you were going to do. Because your actions didn't follow up what you actually said you were going to go out and accomplish. So I'm going to challenge you to think about, what have you been saying yes to that needs a no out of you? And what have you been saying no to that needs a yes out of you? And I'm going to challenge you to write it down on paper and share it with somebody that will hold you accountable. Tell somebody. Tell me if you want to. I don't care. Message me if you want me to be your accountability. But will y'all do that? Because I'll tell you what, y'all, this step right here is a powerful one. I could have done a whole broadcast just on this piece right here. This is such a powerful step. How many of y'all commit to doing this? Because every one of us have something. Every single one of us, myself included, have something that we've been saying yes to that we need to give a no, and something we've been saying no to that needs a yes. How many of y'all commit? Put a I commit in the chat stream if you commit to writing this down today. At least one yes and at least one no. You're going to write it down today and you're going to share it with somebody that's going to help you, hold you accountable so that you actually do it. It's a powerful step, y'all. I challenge you with that one. That's number 6. And I got you, Jackie, Kim, I see you, Randy. Randy says, no, I'm not doing that. Victoria's on it. I mean, at least you're honest, Randy. All right, let's keep going. Number 7. You got 2 left for you and we're going to get out of here, all right? Number 7 is to reduce your good and expand your best. Reduce your good and expand your best. I think as an entrepreneur, it's very easy to get caught up doing a lot of good things. But you can very easy get so busy just doing all the good stuff that you're not really giving adequate time and focus to your best things. I mean, this is one of the things that I really try to help my people with, as we're coaching through, because I think as entrepreneurs, we're naturally we're idea people, right? We're idea people, and we're always coming up with new ideas and fresh ideas, and we're busy, and we're doers, and we're go-getters, and we're always got full schedules doing all the things. But just because you're busy doesn't mean that you're busy doing the right stuff. You might just be busy being busy. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that like to schedule themselves so full to keep themselves busy, because keeping themselves busy gives them an excuse of why they couldn't do the things that were most necessary. A lot of that could be your fear of failure, your fear of not succeeding, your fear of rejection, your whatever. But being busy does not mean that you're being productive. Sometimes people are just being busy. And sometimes some of y'all are being intentionally busy so that you don't have to do the stuff that's hard. But the hardest stuff is almost often the best stuff, y'all. There's some things in your world that need your attention, that need your time, that need your effort. For some of you, the things that are going to be your best thing are going to require you to advance a skill, like I talked about earlier. You gotta recognize when you've got just a whole bunch of good, and then what do you have that's great? What do you have that's your best? What do you have that's like, that needs my attention, that needs my focus, that needs my investment, that needs my energy, my sweat, my whatever? So I challenge you to look at what you got going on in your world that consumes your day, consumes your week, consumes your month, what has consumed your year. How much of that stuff is just good? And which of those things are your best? And can you reduce the good and expand your best? Give more time and energy to the best of your life, to the best of your gifts, to the best of your business, to the best of your ideas, to the best of your solutions, to the best of your resources. Reduce your good, expand your best. All right. Last one, number 8, is to adapt every single one of these 7 things into a routine. Make this a routine. Hopefully you took enough notes to jot every one of these down. Create separation from normal, commit to advancing a skill, commit to doing something that scares you, seek feedback and refine, acquire new and meaningful relationships, say yes and say no, reduce your good, and expand your best. Those 7 things, if you can make a habit of those, a routine of those, like I revisit these 7 things every month at the end of every month in preparation for the beginning of each new month. At the end of every month, I take time to go through each of these 7 things and ask myself, can I go through any of these 7 steps right now as I transition into the new year or into the new month? If you make a routine of this, it is powerfully effective, y'all. And these are simple. These are all simple. There's not a single person listening to this, watching this, hearing this on the podcast that can't do any one of these things. This is something that every single one of us can do right now. And I guarantee you, if you take these things seriously, you commit to doing every single one of these with the instructions that I've given with each one, and you do it not only once going into the new year, but every single month. Like if you commit to doing this just now and commit to this over the next, say, 6 weeks going into the 1st of January, you're already giving yourself such a momentum to build upon going into the new year. But if you reset and do this every single month, and commit to doing these things every single month, you will create a power in you that's relentless, that's unstoppable, that will give you such a tremendous momentum as you carry out your desire to go after those goals that you have in the new year. Again, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. Anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing you must do is raise your standards. That's Tony Robbins. Y'all, I appreciate you. That's what I got for you today. I know 36 minutes of your time is so valuable. I'm going to give you some time back. Get about your day. Get after it. Y'all are amazing. Appreciate your time and attention. Get after your goals. Work on these things. Work on these commitments. Get about your day. And I will see you guys all around the web, all right? Take care and God bless y'all. I'll see y'all later.